All right, tonight, gas prices. I mean, this is awful at horrific levels. Look at this. It's over $6 a gallon on average in Southern California, just as Donald Trump predicted. Wow. Now, keep in mind, that doesn't mean just higher prices at the pump. That means higher prices to heat and cool your home and for every product you buy at every store you go to. And as the Wall Street Journal put it, quote, this trickles down to everything, even your potato salad. And don't forget, whatever you buy is shipped in a truck. They use diesel. And guess what? Much of it is made in a factory or farm that now faces rising energy costs. And by the way, look at the price of fertilizer. It's through the roof. By the way, that price also is wrapped in plastic. Oh, that too is made with oil. But according to Biden's Energy Secretary, Jennifer Granholm, we just need to suck it up because the climate can't wait, she said. So she's basically shoving her middle finger in the face of all of you, every single American, saying, F you, climate change is more important than your financial life struggles. And today, because of these failed policies, economic and energy, well, 64% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck. And then we get a lecture by this out-of-touch jackass that doesn't know Jack Adam Schiff about real life. And according to her, a green energy transformation can lead to peace in our time. The entire administration is this locked into this climate alarmist religious cult. Watch.
The climate is not going to wait on our efforts to confront autocrats. Both crises need addressing now. As Minister Ryan has said, this clean energy transition could be the peace project of our time. But peace always comes after struggle. So let's give this peace project the focus and the commitment and the resources of a wartime effort, our Marshall Plan.
Here with reaction, former Trump Energy Secretary Rick Perry. Rick, I would imagine if you were still Energy Secretary, you wouldn't be doing a deal with Iran, you wouldn't be begging OPEC to produce more oil, and you wouldn't be considering importing oil from Iran or Venezuela. But I'm just guessing.
A year and a half ago, we wouldn't need to do any of those things. America was leading the world in the production of energy. We were doing what Donald Trump had asked us to do, and we were making Europe safer. We had the Iranians on their knees. The Chinese were paying attention to us very respectfully, I might add, and Russia wasn't about to take on the United States. All of that changed in a very short period of time, Sean. And what the Secretary of Energy is talking about here, yeah, it's a piece of something, all right. It's a piece of junk. The idea that you're going to bring America to its knees in this effort to chase after this issue of the climate when they won't face the facts. American clean energy was reducing the emissions in the world. And we could continue to be doing that. We could have been replacing Indian coal with American natural gas. We could have been replacing old coal plants in Europe with American natural gas. That would have been making a real difference on the emissions, not to even mention what could be happening out there if the administration would embrace small modular reactors.
So Joe is willing Joe's willing to allow a 40-year inflation high, just costing the average family, according to Penn Wharton, anywhere between $3,500 or $5,000 a year, the highest gas prices we've ever had, compromise on national security, and beg the world's worst countries to do deals with us. That's his policy?
Yeah, Sean, it's amazing to me that we've got the answer right here in front of us. These people are, you know, it's like two kids and one of them just can't say I was wrong. when the fact of the matter is everybody knows they were wrong with their energy policy. They know that America has the ability to not only stabilize the world out there because of our abundance of energy, but we had the ability to go into Europe. We had the ability to send a clear message to Russia is we're not going to put up with your nonsense, Putin. And he was paying attention at that particular point in time because he knew we had him literally over a barrel, so to speak. And this president let him up. He's making deals with the Iranians. Then he goes and begs these countries that don't like us to give us their fuel. Craziness.
We need you back. We need the adults back. Governor, Secretary, thank you for being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.